Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the local pundit. I am Paddy Power, and today we have the WREXtra Time show. We have just finished our match away at Northampton, where we gave them an easy spanking 2-0. On today's show, we will be asking lots of questions of you, so come in and have your say. Is Mark Howard our new number one goalie? Are Mullen and Palmer relegated to the training pitch? Will Macca survive the entire season without getting his next yellow card for 10 and a suspension? Come in and have your say.
It's WREXtra Time! Phil Parkinson, he's a genius. He can't lose away. What are we talking about, poor away form? Get out of here. Sam Smith, the best buy of the January window. He scored today. You can't stop him. Super Mark Howard in goal. He gets an assist today. He's amazing. Clean sheet. Nobody can stop us. Wrexham's going for promotion. I love it, baby. Woo!
You almost said Paul Mullen.
I did.
Well, yeah, that was certainly a fun match. Match. Boring at times, but you know what? I loved it.
It was the best kind of boring.
Yes, no heart attack today. No last second gasp. Oh, shit. We've done it again away. No, this is the new Wrexham. This is the new away form. Nice, easy, early goals. Sit back and relax. Wait for 90 minutes and go celebrate.
Hey,
yeah.
Don't look now, but that's 2 away wins in a row.
Oh, my God. 2 in a row, baby. So we had fun today. Today was a positive match. I don't think there's anything negative to say, even if I wanted to. I'm sure I can find something, but let's see. I'm going to be extremely positive today. How about that?
Yes, me too. I'm very positive.
I'm not even going to be the realist today.
No, there's no reason to be. We're going to win promotion.
We're going to win promotion.
That's right.
We're going to win the league.
That's right. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. Up the football league we go.
Okay, right. We have a guest in the background. Steve, I see you there. I will bring you in shortly. We'll just go through a few little bits here. So, first up, because we never say this, hit the like button, subscribe, do all that nice stuff. And hey, look, if you feel like it, become a member as well. Lots of our family have joined us as members, which is great. If you can afford to do it, if you have that spare cash, if you don't, no problem. Our Discord is free, and that's something else we forget to talk about as well. So let's put the Discord link out there and add that in for everybody. And then we will get going. So we have our first guest, but we don't yet have our second guest, third guest, fourth guest. So look, positive day today. Surely you have something nice to say about the team. So come in and have your say today. I want a nice big show. Lots of people, lots of positivity. I know Hip Karma is listening. She would love it. She loves a nice, happy show. So come and talk to us today, guys. Okay, finally, I've got the link ready. Copy. Boom. Link to the Discord is in the chat, people. Oh, Hip Karma's in the background. There we go. She heard the call out.
Hey, speak of the devil. Speak of the devil.
Okay, Hip Karma, I will bring you in shortly too. Let's say hello to Steve first. Steve, how are you?
How you doing, man?
Good. Are you happy?
Extremely happy. Couple of thoughts off the top of my head. I don't think there's a man of the match. I think there is a men of the match. That back line and Howard, that defense was amazing today. And so I'm going to give a man of the match to the defense today. That's kind of where I'm at.
I like that.
Okay, cool. First major thought then. Bring up a quick topic. We also have number 3 in the background. Come on, guys. This is good. Keep going.
Go. This is good.
First up, Steve, what you think? Pick a topic.
The strikers were amazing today. And, I'm so tired of hearing this hoofball bullshit. Howard put that ball down there and Smith put it in like a champ. And that was beautiful. And say what you want. That's what wins games.
Howard rammed that home, didn't he? Open wide, people. It's coming.
Call it dinosaur ball or parky ball or whatever. It works.
It was good today. Absolutely. Yeah, really good. Nice mixture. Okay. Hip Karma, I hope you're ready. I'll bring you in. Let's see. Hello, Hip Karma.
All right. I just wanted to chat, dude. I'll get out.
No, you can stay.
I'm not staying long. Right. It's 1:30 in the morning for me, and I'm actually going to be asleep at 2 a.m. for a change on a Saturday night. So stay, Steve. I won't be here long, but it's such a great game. It was so happy, or I was so happy to see just how the team seemed to lift. There was real effort and there was real pace in. I agree with what you said, Steve. Defense was great, but also people were moving around. I mean, I loved the observation that someone made in chat during the play that J-Rod was working the channels all the time. Smith might have been further up the front and with his pace, but they were both working that pitch really well. And yes, Smith got the goal in, and I'm so happy for him. First opening his account for us. And J-Rod had a couple of really good chances. His time will come really soon, I think. So such a good game. Yeah. Also, Powder Max for standing up at the end there. I think 4 players surrounding him.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. I thought he was going to go Macca on him, just start boom, boom, boom. I thought we were about to get one of those.
I was unsure, but he's clearly taken some lessons from Macca. He stood there, and I thought, well done. He
was definitely giving it right back.
That was cool.
And we will talk about Macca's part in that later when we discuss Macca.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will. I will keep going. As I said, just a flyby. Thank you. Have a great night. I'll catch up with this after some sleep.
Okay.
Stay spectacular, gentlemen.
Take care, Karma. You'll like this one. See you in the morning. Bye-bye.
I look forward to liking it. Bye, guys.
Take care. Bye.
Take care, Karma.
Okay, next up, Brian, we're going to bring you in. You ready? Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah, go for it.
I thought it was obviously a solid performance, and I'm glad, we sometimes draw games like this on the road. So that was good, but I'm still a little bit frustrated with Parky not subbing more and subbing earlier. We have this very tough run of games coming up. McLean had to have the injection in his hip last week, and he still seems really reluctant to sub or rotate, which I'm a little concerned about still. Otherwise, good performance. Smith seems to be obviously have that quality that we had been lacking. I'm going back to McLean. I'm a little irritated that apparently he does have this ability to not get a yellow card, and where was that discipline the rest of his tenure with Wrexham until this stretch of games? I would have liked to see more discipline previously, but I still think he will eventually get the 2-game suspension before it resets. So I'd say those are my major concerns is fatigue and injury through this next course of games. And since Aaron's here, I will make my mention about EOC. He did get through the game, but I think this is basically his limit. This is his pinnacle of play, and this is a lower table League One team. He will never set foot on a championship pitch. He simply does not have the quality or skill. So yes, we made it through the game. I'm appreciative of that, but he's at his ceiling. That's what I've got for now.
Hot take early in the show.
That's a hot take.
I mean, it's a take. I mean, I would expect us to improve. If we're moving up to the championship, I would expect us to bring in better defenders. And I don't necessarily disagree that EOC, this might be his limit. But I still think he's the best we have to offer.
I think Brunt is ready to take that step up to championship.
I think Brunt and Max, both with their age and just the way they play, I think will move up, be just fine, and they're going to be just fine. They'll fit right in the championship.
And I think Scar, having already played in championship, can be a backup again next year in championship. But yeah, I'd like to see us maybe bring in, one or two either subs from the Premier League or solid championship defenders. Because I was thinking about this. Who do we need to bring in? I think 2 defenders, a midfielder, and a winger to replace Macca. Because I think the midfield, I feel really good about Rathbone playing the championship. And I think, I think Dabo can do it as well, as long as he keeps within himself and does what he does well. But I'd be interested to know what you guys think.
Go ahead, Steve.
I'm sorry. Isn't Longman the replacement for Macca?
He hasn't played on that side yet, though.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced he is. I'm not convinced. But
weren't we told when he came in that he could play both sides?
He has played both sides. He hasn't for us yet, so we'll see how that goes. But let's try to stick to this game right now. This was a good one for us.
Sure.
So let's stick on this game. Let's stick on the good points. We've got Errol in the background too. Errol, we'll go ahead and bring you in too.
That's L.
All right. Yeah, L. Hey, what's your thoughts on the game, L?
Good. Yeah, I thought we controlled the game very well. Happy to see that we win away again. I think we look pretty good. I do agree that Parky could have rotated more, but then again, why change a winning team? But yeah, very excited to see Rathbone look great again. Sam Smith, I don't think a lot of our strikers would have made that goal, so glad to see he did. Overall, very happy with the performance and just the way we controlled that game. Even though Northampton isn't necessarily the best team around, still good to see what we did.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. All right, so let's talk about that goal for Sam Smith. That's a big goal for him. He needed to get off the mark. Obviously, the assist from Mark Howard, which little stat on that, only the 4th goalkeeper to get an assist in League One this season. For anybody who wasn't sure.
Hold on, I have a question about that, Aaron.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, no, it was the Rathbone goal came off Howard, right?
No. The Smith goal was a straight ball over the top. Smith ran onto it, outpaced the defender, and slotted it in.
Oh, I was going to ask you about the Rathbone goal because that came off a defender's head. He basically made that entirely himself. He had no help from any of his teammates.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that was hustle. That was hard work and hustle created that goal. The Rathbone.
Unassisted goal.
So Steve, what's your thoughts on the Smith goal? What'd you think about it?
So, everyone talks about dinosaur ball, play, parky ball, whatever. That just proves if you can get the ball down the field from the goalkeeper and your striker scores, does that dinosaur seem so old now? because we just won.
It worked.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. Go ahead, Patty.
I wouldn't like to see that being tried multiple times in every match. But he took his moment. That's exactly what he was going for. Is dropping it in that danger area and hoping that Smith can spin onto it, spin around his defender, and you have time then to get to the ball and pick your shot. So it worked. It was amazing. And I have to say, AO's distribution probably would never have tried that or been able to do it.
True. That's why Mark Howard was in the goal today.
Well, that's a big question then as to why he's not in the goal. AO's not back in the goal yet. That's a long question.
I think there's something wrong with his chin. He ran into that post pretty hard.
Yeah, he did. He hit his chest and potentially his face as well there, yeah.
I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah,
I can tell. I'm not sure who is it. Might be Brian. We might be getting a lot of feedback through your phone.
Are you able to mute for a second, Brian, and we just see if it's the noise from you or from Al?
Yeah, it's from him.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, there's a lot of feedback coming in from you, Brian.
Well, let me ask you a question real quick before I mute
that's better.
Patty.
Actually, yeah, now it sounds a lot better.
That's better.
Patty, are you concerned about in the second half when we brought Fletcher and Marriott in, and several times they wanted balls and the midfielders could not get them to them? And are you concerned against better teams that, we're not able to execute those passes in the box or around the box to manufacture those goals, which we're definitely going to need against the tougher teams, Wickham and Stockport, going forward?
This is a yes and no question for me. Yes, on the basic question, stronger teams will be harder to do that. We do sometimes have problems getting distribution into our strikers. So yes, but no, if this type of play continues, because we are finding ways to win and score goals from everywhere. We are not like a one-trick pony of pass in flat to the strikers. Now that can work. I'm not saying that's a bad tactic either, but part of our tactics is what people keep calling the moments of brilliance that can come from anywhere on the pitch, which is why our defender has so many goals, but sure. We have goals all over the pitch. So yes, in specifics, in general, maybe not. We are third, we are chasing second, we are near the top. So it is working overall. And a small increase in our quality of away form without a major dip in the home form, and we can take second.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. Elle, what was your thoughts on the Rathbone goal? What'd you think about it?
It just shows Rathbone is a workhorse. Like, he won't stop for anything. He's turning out to be my favorite player of the squad, to be honest. Just the work he puts in, the finishes he has, like, he's definitely one of our top players for sure. And it just shows with this goal too, like, he just kept going, moved the ball forward, and then just finished it himself. Great to see. Yeah.
And if I can interject, it just shows what a masterful job Parky's done in assembling this team. I mean, we've got two squads that can play against just about every League One team right away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I had my doubts with Rathbone first when we first got him, and he had his first few matches. Like, he didn't quite come into form yet, but he really has found his place in the squad, and he's really earned that first team position for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I call him the Energizer Bunny because he just runs constantly.
He's going and going and.
Okay, Aaron, you're gonna lead this one for me because I'm not allowed to get any bit negative, but I want to talk about this.
Okay, so I got to get negative.
Yeah. So John says, when the mids have had the opportunity to feed the strikers, the mids took the shots themselves. So that's the general point. But more specifically, Barnett. out on the right. There was one opportunity there where he decided to go for the shot himself instead of passing to Smith.
Yeah.
So take that one.
Yeah. Look, I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily to have players confident enough to take shots. I think as long as we're challenging the goalkeeper, that's what we need to do. It's better than not taking shots at all. Okay. We want shots on goal. We want chances. So I'm not gonna. Obviously, there's certain decisions that now would it have been a better decision for Barney to pass that ball? Probably.
Hindsight's 2020.
Exactly. If the ball ends up in the back of the net, nobody's griping, right?
Yeah.
So, and he has
the particularly bad one was the particularly bad one was from Longman when Marriott was begging for the ball at his feet, and Longman just decided to sky one into the stands. So hopefully Parkey has a word in training, although I don't know how much training we're going to have going forward the next month.
Here's the other thing I'll say on that too. I actually didn't mind. I didn't mind him taking that shot. I was kind of hoping he would. But also, when you're up 2-0, okay, and it's getting late in the game, I don't have a problem with midfielders taking, midfield type players taking a longer range shot and just trying to put a ball on target. You know what I mean? I don't mind that so much when you're up, so you've got the room. It's not as important that we score right now. Okay.
Okay.
So it's okay. I think in that situationally, I think it's okay to take that shot. When he was coming in and I saw, I'm like, oh, he's taking the shot, and I knew he was going to, and I was hoping he would. Now, obviously, I was hoping he'd score it, but I wanted to see him take a shot because we haven't seen him take a shot yet, I don't think. So I wanted to see him take a shot and see what it looked like. And we got a corner out of it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad thing. You know what I mean?
Consider it from Marriott's perspective. If he's only going to come in as a sub now in the second half, and his midfielders are thinking, well, it's the second half, I'll take a shot, he'll never get the quality service that a starter will get. And he could never get himself going. I'm not saying that that's right for the team or not. What you're saying could be perfectly valid, but I'm just saying that's tough for Marriott.
Okay. Steve next to respond there, and then I'll go after.
Yeah. I guess my comment on this is Barnett feeling a lot of pressure from the new signing? Yeah. Is he feeling like he has to produce more to keep his position? Yeah.
I remember there was an earlier when he scored his first goal. Okay, his first goal this season. They did the interview with him after the game, and he had mentioned that Parkinson had asked him or had encouraged him to take more shots because he was earlier in the season he was laying balls off where he had shots that he could have been taken. And I remember him mentioning that Parkinson had encouraged him to try to take some shots when he gets chances. So I think that's more of a Parkinson's giving these guys the free range to. If you think you can take a shot, take a shot. Think about the Andy Cannon goal the other day.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
That was one of those situations. Now, if that ball goes over the bar,
no, I don't.
Are we griping because Andy didn't pass the ball in?
Okay.
Because he could have played the ball on the floor to a striker.
That was a very clear, obvious shot chance, though. Like in this scenario, Barney was starting to run himself out of the angle to actually have a clear shot when he took it. But without arguing over that point, I want to go back to a different point you made, which is you don't mind him taking those shots in this situation because we're winning and we're a little bit comfortable. Okay, that's one side of the coin. Let me give you the other side. The other side is you can also say that everybody should be taking the shots when it's not working and we're not breaking down the defense and we're not getting there, and somebody needs to produce that moment of brilliance, which then means that when we're comfortable, anybody can shoot. When we're not comfortable and potentially losing or, getting nowhere, then they should also be shooting. And it's only this little bit in the middle that people should be playing off the better pass. Now, if there is no better pass, of course, take your moment, take your shot, go for it. You know, put pressure on the ball. But you have to be careful with it. I got to go for 1 second.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. What's your thoughts?
Sounds
El?
like a
What's your
little
thoughts
family
on-
emergency.
What's your thoughts on that, El?
I think it's okay for midfielders to take shots. I don't care. Like anybody should be able to take a shot if they have a good opportunity to do so. I mean, maybe this Barney one was a bit questionable, but other than that, like, I don't fault them for taking shots. I'd rather have them take shots to not have shots at all. So if there's a good opportunity there, even though there's also a possibility to pass it off, like, why not? And I agree too that if the ball goes in, nobody cares. But if it doesn't go in, then that's when people start complaining. So but it's okay. It's okay to look at all the options that were there afterwards. But on the other hand, I was like, midfielders can take shots. There's no problem with that.
Yeah, and how many goals are scored on rebounds?
Yeah, that's true. Do you think it's just somebody like Fletcher's nature to say that should have, after a miss, to say that should have been my ball, you know, and throw his arms up and say, why didn't I get that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, strikers always going to want the ball, right? And they should. They should always want the ball when they're and that I can't remember who took that shot. Might have been Marriott took a shot and but Fletcher was kind of running kind of to the post and would have had a nice shot had the ball been laid off to him, and he was frustrated that he didn't get the ball, and you're going to get that. That's part of it. So yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm just glad we're getting shots, we're getting chances. You know, we got 2 goals today. That's good. You keep putting shots on goal, we'll keep getting more goals. So I think it's always good to have your players confident enough to take shots.
We're 3rd in League One.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely. One thing, here's a note for the games just kicking off. Wickham, no Kone today in the team.
Whoa, that's big.
Not even on the bench. So I'm not sure what's going on there.
That's huge.
Were they playing?
They have Crawley, so I mean, we need Crawley to do us a favor. So, and they're capable. Crawley can score goals. That's the thing with Crawley. They're down the relegation zone, but they're a team that, I mean, you know, I think they lost 4-3 to Bolton the other day, and then I think they won a game 3-2 the other day too. So I mean, they score goals, you know. So you never know. They might be able to do us a favor. I hope so. Usually, teams down the relegation zone aren't scoring anything. So,
is that on Paramount Plus, Aaron?
No, I don't think so. I don't believe so. I don't think there's any more League One games on Paramount Plus today. I think it's just championship games. All right, so let's go to a new topic. When is Macca's yellow card coming, and is it coming? What do you think, Steve? What do you think, Steve? What's your thoughts?
If you'd asked me a week ago, I'd said last week.
I know.
I'm flabbergasted by the fact he hasn't gotten a yellow card yet. And I think that is the beauty and the brilliance of Parkinson. He put him into that captain position for a reason, to calm him down and make him think about his actions. And so far, it's worked, and I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah.
Has it? Well,
though? Here's my question.
He's on a similar number of yellows to last season.
Yeah. I'll tell you, here's the frustrating thing, and I think Brian kind of mentioned this earlier. The frustrating thing was he got like 3 yellows that were unneeded yellows. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was making
absolutely.
So he got some really dumb yellows, which is frustrating.
That's the frustrating part, actually.
And he could have today he kind of
Today
did the
with
same
that,
thing.
yeah,
He comes flying
with
in
that
there, which I
fluid?
understand you would protect your teammate, but Longman immediately grabs hold of Matt. He's like, get him out of here.
He could have easily gotten a yellow today with that Kluwer situation. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Brian, I think you had something to say. Go ahead, bud.
Yeah. My question for Aaron and Patty is, so he's obviously making an effort not to get a yellow, but does that mean, and a lot of his yellows are after the play, like today, where he jumped into fracas.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think he's playing a little bit less aggressively on the ball, also to try to avoid a yellow? And if that's the case, then that means his play is a little bit diminished because he's not taking many chances. And how many games do we want to? Would it be better for him just to get the yellow so he can go back to his normal manner of play?
Let's get it out of the way. That's
real
what I
quick,
say. I agree.
Guys,
Real
not
quick,
normal for our show.
Crawley
Yeah.
just scored.
I know.
Crawley just scored. They're
Thanks for
leading.
jumping on me. I was about to do that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, not normal for this show because normally all the matches play together, but we the early match. So yes, Crawley are up 1-0 on Wycombe Wanderers already at about 7 minutes. That's a good start.
Fantastic. I love it. Anyway, to your question, Brian. I mean, yeah, I think it almost inevitable that he does have to play less aggressive, which is kind of I mean, the best part of his game is when he's playing aggressive. So I agree with what you're saying. I do wonder if it makes him not as good as what he can be, and that's holding him back. And that's what's so frustrating about when he gets the stupid yellows. You know what I mean? I don't mind going for a hard tackle when you get a yellow. I'm fine with that.
Is his defensive work faltering now, though? I don't think so.
What's that? I missed what you said, Al.
I said, is his defensive work faltering right now? Because I don't think so.
No, I don't think defensively. I think he's okay. He's not the he was the guy that come in for.
All right, Brian, hold on a second.
He would come in. He was the guy. He was kind of our guy that would come in and make that crunching tackle to set the tone.
Yeah, we got
last
Dobson
season
for that now too.
That's true. Dobson can do that now. That's absolutely true. So yeah, he's just a little different, and maybe it's not worse. Maybe it's just different. So, you know,
I kind of wish he would have got that yellow today.
I kind of wish he did not get the 2/3 yellows that were nonsense, and we wouldn't have this discussion at all.
I agree with that, but
the captain would have held him back and would have calmed him down just a little bit enough. But yeah, he's doing his job and he's going to stay down until he gets that yellow. So we'll see. But
that's why we brought in Longman. That's why we have Seb.
Yeah.
When he does get that 2-game suspension, at least we've got the backup, right?
Yes, we do. I'm not so worried when he goes out for the 2 matches.
Mm-hmm.
And he will.
So let me ask this: who do we think is going to come in if he does get the 2-match ban? Who replaces him?
Probably Red.
I thought Seb played well against Bolton. I thought he looked good.
I would like to see
did.
there, but I think it's going to be Revan.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish Revan's defensive play was a little better.
Yeah, he still has a mistake in him, but I think he's been getting better. Maybe Parky's a little bit more confident in him now, but I think it'll be Revan with a backup of Longman that can switch sides if necessary. If something goes wrong with Revan or depending on the situation. Of course, Mendy will probably end up sitting the bench once Revan is playing at the start.
Yep. And what are we thinking about that back line? Is O'Connell going to be the center back?
I think so.
Going forward?
I think he'll leave him there until he makes a major mistake.
Yeah, he had a good match again today. I don't see Parky chopping and changing too much. So
okay.
Yeah, it's Howard when he swaps for AO is the big question for me. So that's the other one now is when/if he gets swapped out. Now today was an easy game. You know, there was nothing needed today. There was no special save, not even one moment in the match for Howard. So although it's a clean sheet, it doesn't say anything about Howard staying there forever. So I guess until we have big mistakes in goal, maybe he's going to stay there for a while.
I
Well,
will say I was
Aaron
surprised
just
at how
said that
started.
Crawley is. Oh, sorry. Crawley's capable of putting up 3 goals. So it does make me worry about Tuesday.
Tuesday's Tuesday.
Yeah.
But look, we can worry about every team. I suppose we can pick
Well-
something from every team that'll worry us.
We've
we
already
want to.
played. We don't play Crawley again, so we're good on Crawley.
No,
It's
I'm
Leighton.
sorry, I meant
We have
Leighton. Yeah,
Leighton
Leighton,
Tuesday.
sorry.
Yeah.
It's latent.
Leighton, and Leighton can score. Leighton will be a much tougher test than today, but it's a home game, so
Okay.
that
You were about to say something there?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was a bit surprised that Howard started because AO put in, I thought, a great performance against Bolton in the Jimmy Bag of Donuts Cup. So he made some great saves. So I was like, okay, maybe he earned his spot back again, but maybe Parky is just waiting for those mistakes again from Howard to switch it back around. But I'm not sure.
I've a slightly different question on it. So let me know what you think of this one. The argument we've had between O'Connell and Scar is that O'Connell can distribute better. Now, is the same true for Howard? Howard's kicks are better. He puts them in better positions and gives us a much greater opportunity to retain the ball deeper down the pitch. Do we think that's enough to be keeping AO out?
What is a goalkeeper's main purpose?
To stop the
stopping.
shots, but he hasn't had a lot of shots to stop yet.
Yeah.
So until we get to that situation, is this what's happening? You know,
Maybe, yeah. Could it be a game by game decision?
I think it has to be for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I still think overall we're better with Okonkwo in goal, just for his shot stopping ability. I think
Yeah.
he stopped shots that most keepers won't, and definitely Mark Howard can. And so yeah, I think especially Tuesday against a team that are gonna get some shots. I mean, they get shots. We're gonna want a shot stopper in there, I think. So I would like to see AO in on Tuesday. Not that Mark did anything wrong today, but I think for Tuesday, I think maybe AO is the one to go to.
If I may, I'd like to throw a question in that's a little bit of a wrinkle.
Okay.
I think we really undervalue the importance of the Callum Burton injury. I mean, I think as we look back on the season, it might be one of the more consequential injuries in the league, because I'm not sure if Burton was 100%, would Okonkwo have ever gotten the starting role back in the first place after he broke his wrist? If Burton was still playing solid, and if Burton never gets injured, I mean, I think that has taken points off of us if you look back at the schedule from the time he did get injured. So I think that was very consequential, and we were never able to bring anybody in that Parky thought was better than Howard. So that has been really a tough one for us.
I think that's a good point. I think I'm not convinced that Callum Burton wouldn't or that AO would have got the job back if Burton would have stayed healthy, because I thought Burton was very good. I think I think as an overall keeper, I think he's probably better than AO. He might be better because his shot stopping is almost as good, and I think his distribution's definitely better. The only knock I had on him, I don't think Callum Burton could have made that kick today that Howard did. I don't think Burton has as much leg as AO or Howard. So I don't think he could have got that ball over the top today. That was my only thing I saw with him. When he'd take his deep kicks, they were just getting over the halfway line. That, and that was about as far as he was getting. Where you could see AO and Howard consistently are getting it well into the opposing half. Yeah, almost halfway or 3/4 of the way into the almost hitting the box. So so that was my only knock on Burton. Other than that, I thought Burton was fantastic, and he may still be he may have still been our keeper right now, if he hadn't gotten hurt. And we probably did lose some points because we didn't have him. I think that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, absolutely. It would certainly have been a decision. And Bruce put a comment here. AO certainly wouldn't have started so soon if Callum was healthy, and it's possible AO came back too soon. I think that's a fair comment.
Yeah. Probably forced him back too soon. He probably tried to get back sooner because of the injury to Burton. So yeah, I mean that's definitely that's fair for sure. I was gonna look at some match stats because I thought it's funny we give Parky a lot of grief about Parkosaurus Rex and Parky Ball, but we had today. I mean, this doesn't sound like a defensive team. We had 58% of the possession. Our XG was 1.33. We had 14 shots, 3 on target. Those are pretty good numbers from a possession and shots and getting shots on target, considering they only had 5 total shots for the entire game. So yeah, I just wanted to make mention of that. It was good to see us hold the ball at times, not let them have it, keep it, passing it around. It was boring, but it was boring in the best kind of way. We were leading 2-0 and we were just controlling the game, controlling the ball. And they got their chances and they got forward for a little bit, but it wasn't like Crawley where they were just dominating the ball on us. I don't think it was never like that. So it was good to see us play that kind of football and keeping the ball away from them, and kind of running the timeout on them. What's your thoughts on that, El?
Yeah, I think we controlled the game really well, and I guess the stats show that too, that we did that. I didn't think we were really in danger at any point during the game. Northampton didn't really look that scary to us, so yeah, I'm not surprised with these stats, to be honest.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised just coming into the game. They're coming off of two wins now, granted against 2 teams that aren't in great form, but one of them's Huddersfield. I mean, this team beat Huddersfield 3-2, which how they scored 3 goals is beyond me because Huddersfield's a pretty good defensive team. So the fact that Northampton scored 3 goals against Huddersfield kind of blows my mind because they didn't look like scoring at all today. Yeah. What's your take on that, Brian?
Well, I was trying to figure out. It looked like Rodriguez was playing the hold-up position, and Smith playing more of the attacking. But as I understand it, Smith can also fulfill that role too. So I was trying to, because Rodriguez didn't have any shots on goal, and when he first came in, I was really expecting him to be spraying it around. So I'm going to be watching how that dynamic going forward.
Yeah. Guys, let's see. Josh
wow,
just
guys.
said more calls. Get some calls in here. Let's get some more people in here. This is great. It's a good podcast. Come have your say.
We have some updates there. I posted it there a second ago. Barnsley are up 1-0 on Huddersfield Town.
Yes.
We have Bristol Rovers 1-0 versus Burton Albion. Not too important. Leyton Orient 1-0 against Lincoln, which is decent. And then we have oh no, that's it. Oh, Blackpool 1-0 against Mansfield. Mansfield still in the dirt.
Shoot.
Yeah.
So good results
Aaron,
so
were
far.
you able to watch Aaron, were you able to watch the 20-year-old new player for Northampton? Was he special or was he like an injury replacement?
Honestly, I didn't see him do a ton. Did you see anything, Patty? I didn't see much of him, to be honest.
No, nothing fantastic. Serviceable, I guess, from the little bit we saw, but it's hard to tell in a one match, obviously.
Yeah.
Especially when we dominated so much.
Yeah. I didn't see him do much of anything. Honestly, none other players looked all that great. I think what was the one? What was it, McGee or can't think of it, something like that.
The guy tried to.
Their leading scorer, cannot think of his name for the life of me right now. I'm gonna tell you here in a second though. Where's he at? Yeah, McGeehan. I thought he looked decent, but he, we outclassed him. But I think McGeehan was probably their best player. Joe Taylor did a little bit. He's a Welsh kid. I think he's 23. I thought he was okay. I thought he's on loan. I think they said he was on loan from. Gosh, I can't remember. But he's a lone player. Him and I think they just the Costello, their striker up front. He's a new player on loan too. So I think they just got some players in. They're trying to get their team together, trying to get them playing together. I don't know. Like I said, how that team ever scored 3 goals on Huddersfield is beyond me. I don't know, because they didn't offer much today. They didn't offer much at all.
Do you guys think, switching topics, that Brunt is going to be our new starting left center back?
Yeah, I think there's no way he loses his place. And actually, I think it was kind of a similar situation with him, where I don't think he would have ever been out of the team had he not got injured. He had gotten injured once he finally got in the team. We had a good run of games where it was him. It was the back three we had today. I think we had a run of 5 or 6 games. There was the 3 of them, and there was a few clean sheets in there, and they all looked really good. And then he got, I can't remember what the injury was. He got some sort of injury, and so that brought him out. So yeah, I don't think we see TOC back in that back line very often.
Yeah, he was also not on the bench, was he, Tom O'Connor?
No. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the bench. So, okay. Mullen and Palmer. I said it together. Mullen. Mullen and Palmer. Do we think they get back into the team at all?
I could see Mullen being on the bench instead of Marriott some games, maybe. I don't see any situation where Palmer would be either in the starting 11 or on the bench, to be honest.
Yeah. What do you think, Brian?
I don't think we'll see Palmer unless maybe the last home game of the season, if our position is already fixed. I can see Palmer getting in to say goodbye to the fans. But unless there's an injury, I wouldn't use a spot on him. And I wouldn't even take time away from Mo Fowl for Palmer. I mean, to be honest with you, it's really, when I see Smith and Rodriguez in there, you see how much we were missing with Palmer playing, to be honest. I know a lot of people wanted to defend him out of loyalty and try to defend Parkey's decisions, but, we're really in a much better place now. Look how it opens up for a Rathbone by the defenders having to account for Smith and Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, our bench is just too stacked, really. We speak about this time and again. Our bench is so strong when they come on that we're not losing much, if anything. Considering that they're coming on for the last 20 minutes, max 30 minutes. So we're getting the benefit of our starters being told and knowing they're coming off, so they can go full stretch, burn out their engines, early, because they know they only have to do the 70 minutes. And then we have the benefit of a near 1-for-1 coming off the bench and full tank for the last 30 minutes. So that's one of our biggest benefits. Now, we didn't particularly need it today, But that has saved us so many times. And yes, you could swap Marriott out for Mullen for some games. The question is, does it really change anything? I don't think so. Not at the moment. Maybe Marriott would be best to score a goal again soon, and help cement that spot is his. Because if he goes a significant amount of time without maybe, pulling up weeds and actually scoring and getting some assists on his plate, then you could, of course, easily swap him then for Mullen. Would be a question. But right now, yeah, I don't see why you would, except to keep people happy. And of course, we don't see what happens in training. So,
I think.
All right, I'll do a. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
Marriott will start against Peterborough in the Virtu semifinal. That's his former team. He scored against them earlier this year. I think he'll start against them, and I think he may score against them. So hopefully that gets him going to an extent.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, I'll do another rundown of the games going on right now. I don't know if we mentioned it earlier. The other early game was Cambridge and Exeter, kind of an inconsequential game, but Exeter did win that 1-0. Right now, Barnsley up 1-0 on Huddersfield. Birmingham up 1-0 on Charlton. I think that's a good result for us too, because we don't want Charlton closing the gap. Blackpool, Mansfield 1-1. I think both those teams are just about on the beach. They're getting close to the point in the season where they're just going to be mid-table, and that's just what it is. Bristol Rovers up 1-0 on Burton. Crawley and Wickham. Wickham have equalized. It's 1-1. Leyton Orient up 1-0 still on Lincoln. Reading have taken the lead. They're up 1-0 on Rotherham. The Shrews up 1-0 on Bolton. I like to see that. Stevenage and Peterborough 0-0 28th minute, and Wigan and Stockport 0-0 still. So that's kind of a roundup of what's going on right now.
So matches are definitely going our way in general today. Nice results. We've had our nice result. And guys, I think we're going to round it out nice and early today, because we are coming up on the hour. I think we've covered everything. We've been nice and positive in general. And unless there's any outstanding issue that we absolutely must talk about, what do you think, guys? Any last words before we finish up?
The only last thing I'll ask is, if Huddersfield loses again today, do you move that game we have coming up against them away into almost like a comfortable victory column? Because a couple of weeks ago we were all very worried about that game. So how has it changed in your mindset?
I was thinking that game was going to be a 6-pointer when we got to it, and now it doesn't look like it's going to be. If they keep this form, I will start to feel pretty good about our chances to win it. But just going off of, they've been over the season a very strong defensive team. But obviously they're still lacking goal scoring ability, which they thought they bought, and then it got hurt. So their $3 million striker got hurt after like one game. So I don't know. I don't want to be too overconfident yet. I'm definitely not chalking it up to a definite win. I won't feel as confident about it as I did this game. But obviously, if results keep going the way they're going, yeah, I'm going to feel better going into it than I would have. What are your thoughts, Patty?
Yeah, well, as it stands, Charlton Athletic and Leyton are ahead of them on the table. So they have now slipped that far. It's becoming a more winnable match. Absolutely. And that's a good thing, because irrelevant of a 6-pointer or not a 6-pointer, we need our 3 points from them. So all the better. If they're on the downturn and they don't want us turning up with our crowd and being positive, yeah, absolutely. But I always think we show up for the bigger matches, and at the moment they're still a big match. Just the name at the moment is enough, because they have been up around us so long. I think that will get the boys up for it. So, yeah, I'm becoming more confident.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an easy win by any means, but it definitely looks more winnable than we might have thought earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. El, you got anything? Any last anything you want to say to finish up the show?
No, I'm excited for the next game. Excited what Leighton will bring. It's gonna probably be a very heavy game, but excited to see what happens.
Yep.
Well, on that news, Leighton are now 2-0 already.
Oh.
So this is going to be an interesting match. And they are currently playing a 4-2-3-1 in this match. So let's see what happens on Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be an interesting match.
Do you think Elliot Lee plays Tuesday?
No.
Ooh.
I think he's injured or not well. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. Not after today's display.
Yeah.
The fact that the guys held it together, kept it comfortable, no mistakes. He likes to keep teams the same. So, no, I think he may sit Lee again for a little bit longer, whether he needs to or not.
Yeah,
based
might
on
need some more time to
today's
recover
performance.
after that car crash. So
Yeah. So, guys, that's it. We are on to Leighton, which is now starting to look like a more important match. They are sitting currently, if the results end like this, in 5th position, 8 points behind us on the same number of games. So this has now become a potential 6-pointer. So, guys, take care. Come here, Sue. Take care,
On that
and we will
bombshell.
see you on this little bombshell. Take care. Bye-bye.
yeah.
Bye,
See you,
everybody.
everyone.